The first flower that I'm going to make is a dahlia flower. We will need a 2-inch styrofoam bowl cut in half, covered with a small layer of gum paste, a 22 gauge florist wire glued to the half bowl. Attach the wire to the half bowl using hot glue and a hot glue gun. We cut 4 different sizes of petals that look like leaves. You can make your own pattern or download them from the internet, or you can follow the silhouette of the images of the pattern I'm using. Here are the sizes and numbers of petals we will need. We will need 21 petals of 4 inches high, 14 petals of 3.5 inches, 7 petals of 2 3/4 inches, and 3 petals of 2.5 inches high. We will also need a fondant cutter, brushes, scissors, and piping gel. When cutting these petals, double the number of wafer paper sheets so that way you don't have to cut so many times over. After having all the petals cut, we vein them using a fondant cutter on the shiny side from the bottom up. We do this to all the petals. Then we condition the paper on the rough side using piping gel and with a soft brush. Turn the petals to the glossy side where you marked the veins and fold in half, except the last 3 petals. Do not condition the tip of the bottom end. See how I place my finger at the bottom end to prevent the piping gel from reaching that end, but do cover the rest of the petal with piping gel. You can give the petal a little movement if you want by curling it a little. Set aside for a few minutes. The last 3 petals are not going to be bent, but give it a curl shape. These are the ones that are going to form the center of the flower. After conditioning the paper, do not let them sit for a long time. Using only as little water as you possibly can with a small brush. Start with the large petals, which are 21 in total, and glue them to the gum paste, overlapping them. Make 3 rounds of 7 petals. Then, for the second size of the petals, which is 14 petals in all, you are going to make 2 rounds of 7 petals, also overlapping them. Then with the third size, a round of 7 petals. And the last 3 petals, those that you curled, you stick them on the center of the flower, being very carefully. A new flower is done. Let it dry until the next day if possible before using it. To make this flower, we will need water, piping gel, a 1-inch styrofoam sphere with a 22 gauge florist wire attached with hot glue, circle cutters to cut the petals as follows: 15 petals of 1.5 inches, 10 petals of 2 inches, and 10 petals of 2.5 inches. Make a slit in the center to almost halfway with scissors. Then ruffle up the edge on top. See the movement of my hands. Vein and condition just as we did with the previous flower. Cup the smallest circles, folding right over left. The piping gel will be towards me and the color outwards. We will do this with the 12 petals only, and the other 3 are left intact. Then cup the circles that are 2 inches and 2.5 inches in the same way, but when you cup them, they must be with the color facing me and the piping gel outwards. We do the opposite cupping of previous petals. To these petals we will also make a curl back on the sides to give them movement. We do not do this with the small petals, only with the largest ones. To start gluing the petals, we will do it by staggering the petals as follows. Step 1. Starting with the smallest petals, we will cover the bowl with the 3 intact petals using the brush and water. Then with the rest of the petals we will make 3 rounds of 4 petals each round. Step number 2. Then we glue the petals of the next size or 2 inches, making 2 rounds of 5 petals each round. Step number 3. The last petals, which are 2.5 inches, are glued with the flower upside down, adding 2 rows of petals, also staggering them. The last 5 petals should touch the wire. And now the flower is already complete. Dry before use. Flower number 3 is the ranunculus. For this flower we will need 21 circles of 1 inch and 25 circles of 1.5 inches. If you don't have cutters, trace the circumference on paper and cut with scissors. Do not vein these circles, only make a slit and condition and cup. The 1-inch circles I'm going to cup with the piping gel towards me and the color outwards. I'm only going to cup 18 circles and 3 will remain intact. The circles of 1.5 inches, I will cup them with the color towards me and the piping gel outwards. We start by gluing the 3 intact petals on top of the bowl, almost sticking with each other, but glue them separated on the top of the bowl. You should be able to see the top of the bare bowl. Then we go on to add petals, staggering them, gluing 3 rounds of 6 petals in each round. Then we add the circles of 1.5 inches, making the rounds of 5 petals in each round. These petals should touch the wire. To finish the center, I will use yellow and green petal dust using a soft brush. Color the top of the bowl and the edge of the petals of the center. And so we complete the flower.